Welcome to the 2350 Effect. The 2350 Effect starts.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2350 Effect. This is day 3 of Meet the Presenter Week. And as always, I'm the co-host, collaborator of 2350 Effect, 2350 Network, Damian Kinsey, and I'm also the collaborator on the Work-Life Balance Summit, which is coming up next week. And I'm joined, as always, with my co-host and partner, Dr. Farron. Dr. Farron, introduce yourself. Tell them so much about what you do.
Hi, everyone. Oh my gosh, I'm excited to be here again. It is Tuesday of Meet the Presenter Week, and I am the owner of Creative Living Ideas, the CEO, if you will, of Creative Living Ideas, and a co-host to this amazing event, the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit with Damian Kinsey, as well as the co-host for the 2350 Effect and the 2350 Network. So love having this partnership. It's been such fun as we put together amazing things for you in the audience today. I just love the intro, Damian. Y'all give Damian some love for that intro. He went and took all these snips of all these amazing Meet the Presenter nights we've had over the last 3 years, all of the amazing events we've already hosted. And I mean, that takes time, and got some great pictures of us and some jazzy music to lighten it up. And thank you, Damian. It is a great intro, and it makes me smile every time I see all of those amazing events that we've been able to put out for the public.
Thank you so much. I receive it. I appreciate it with so much support and everything. We have so many amazing people who made these lives possible. So I wanted to, sometimes you get lost in what's going on that you don't even see what the progress is. Like I tell people all the time, this is our 3rd summit, but it's only less than 2 years. 2 years is coming up soon on 3 summits as well. So thank you, Christy, for joining us. Thank you, Melissa, for showing up and joining us as well. So many people out there, amazing guests and supporters. Drop in where you're coming from so we can shout you out. And thank you. And as always, we do have, because this is Meet the Presenter Week and we've done a few of these, we have so many amazing guests. All right. So, Dr. Farron, you want to introduce Al?
Sure. Absolutely. We want to welcome Al Chan, talent scout, with us tonight. Al has an incredible story that you're going to be able to hear when you come to the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit. I was able to visit with him last spring. I think he came to the virtual wellness experience, and Al has a great story that he shared. And then we've also had some time talking and getting to know one another, and has just been such a positive force, a positive light to everyone that's at this event, who's presenting at this event, and has just been such a great supporter of the 2350 Effect. Al, we're delighted that you're with us. Thank you for coming today. Tell people where you're from and what time is it for you? My goodness.
Yeah, I'm on Wednesday morning, 8:05 in the morning. So, and basically, good morning and good afternoon, good evening, whoever. So Yeah, thank you. Because I didn't sleep much because I had a summit last night. So basically I was on a American summit. They call it the Icon Maker or something. So I just had a nap of 1 hour or so. That's all in between. But anyway, I'm glad to meet all of you. I'm from Kuala Lumpur, the capital city of Malaysia, and we are smack in between Thailand and Singapore. If people do not know where Malaysia is, it's in Southeast Asia. And glad to meet all you guys. Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing that. He sacrifices a lot to join us. And you know what? It is appreciated by all of us. So thank you so, so much for that. We certainly appreciate that. Damien, who are you bringing up next?
Yes, bringing up Dr. Mel. You want to introduce Dr. Mel as well?
I do. Welcome, Dr. Mel. I'm excited to have her with us. Dr. Mel has been with us since the very beginning, the very first Work-Life Balance Summit. She is an educator. She's an administrator. She is an author. She is a coach. She does all sorts of things, and superintendent now added to her list of accomplishments already so far. And, you know, just always has a really strong positive message for our leaders. And happy to say that she and I are in the same town. I guess you could same town, same city-ish metro area. And we have been able to meet up in person, and that has been such fun. Hoping to see you in the next week or so too at the 2350 Effect Network retreat. Welcome,
Yeah.
Dr. Mel.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm super excited. I can't believe it's already next week that we're having the summit. I mean, time has flown.
It has. It really has flown. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes, thank you for that, Dr. Mel. Congratulations again. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. And I would like to say, Dr. Tanya already said it, but I was getting ready to tell everybody how awesome that intro was at the beginning. Oh my goodness. That was fantastic. Good job, Damien.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much. All right. Dr. Fanner, you want to introduce our next guest? Sorry, I know I'm putting you on the spot for introduction today.
Yes, I would love to introduce our next guest. I would love to welcome Jackie Hallberg. Love having her join us as well. She, I think on our very first event, was a guest and provided incredible feedback for us. She, those of you that know Jackie, y'all know Jackie. I don't even hardly need to give her an introduction, but she does so much work with the community, with reentry services, with her travel tips, with Travel with Jax. Am I saying that right? And now she's got Just Jax show that she has where she puts amazing people on. So this lady is another incredible powerhouse here who is really putting so much positivity and goodness into our world. And we're just thrilled that she's back with us for, I don't know, probably the 4th time presenting, maybe 5th time. I love having her. We're excited to have you here. So thank you, Jackie, for joining us and still being a part of our network as well as this event.
I love hanging out with all the cool kids. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us as well, Jackie. It's always a pleasure to see you, Dr. Mel, Al, and Al. Thank you for your dedication and being here so early. We're going to go into the first level of questions because this is Meet the Presenter Week, and we want to meet the presenters, know about them, learning about them as well. And the first thing I would like to ask, if you can pick one of these things, cookies, ice cream, or cake, which one would you pick? See,
I would say ice cream.
Al said ice cream. Why ice cream, Al?
I got so many flavors of ice cream in Malaysia because Malaysia is a tropical country. We have so many type of fruits. We have durian. Durian is a thorny fruit, and then the yellowish pulp. And you have so many different flavors. So I will just try every type of different flavor of scoop of ice cream. We have yam flavor. We have jackfruit. We have so many types of different type of ice cream. So I will just take one scoop of each, and try everything. I always love variety. So sometimes I can eat 5 or 6 scoops at one time, easily. Yeah.
I like that. Appreciate you, Al, for starting it off. How about you, Dr. Mel?
Can I just mix them all together and just have a big bowl of ice cream and cake and cookies? Because I can't really choose.
Nice.
There's a place for each of them, Damien. A place in your week or your month for each of them.
Oh, this
Love
woman
that.
sounds like she's ready to talk about some balance in her life.
Put it all together. How about you, Jackie?
Well, I love Dr. Mill's like blending thing, but because the word cake happened and you're on the show, Damien, I will never put cake in front of you. So I will say I am not as adventurous as Al is with ice cream. I do love me some ice cream, but I'm more of a plain or with just a little bit of stuff in it. But it depends on the flavor for me. But then cookies, it depends on the way they're cooked. So I don't want anything that's too hard. If you give me a soft cookie and it doesn't have like nuts in it, I'm probably down with that first.
I like that. And I appreciate you supporting me on my journey. No cake.
I'm not quite sure.
How about you, Dr. Farron?
Well, let me see. Do they have Dorito flavored ice cream? I'm not sure because
They probably do now.
they probably do somewhere. I don't know. I'm not like I can live without sweets. I cannot live without chips. I can tell you that much. That's a definite thing. But if I had to pick, I would say ice cream beats them all, but kind of more like a salted caramel, kind of get that salty vibe going, or like the kind that has like the pretzels in it or something like that. I could totally do something like that. Absolutely.
I like that. Ice cream. I like Haagen-Dazs too. I'll go with ice cream. Just because there's a lot of ice creams that actually have those other things in it. So kind of like how you can actually go there and get a variety of stuff. And those people out there, please drop in what you prefer. We have a few people put it out there, and some people are probably like, "Hey, work-life balance. Why in the world is he asking this question?" 2 reasons, folks. 1, it gives you opportunity to get to know people. 3, actually, get to know people. 2, it also gives the opportunity to see what people do in their leisure time, because everything isn't about work. It's work-life balance. And the 3rd thing is you want to kind of relax your guests when you first start off. So it's a relaxing question. And then we get into more of the fun stuff. So
I mean, let's get serious. These are important questions.
Yeah.
I mean, they are important. What if we get together sometime? I need to know that you don't like cake and, things like that. That's important to know. I agree. So we've talked about guilty pleasures the last few nights, but I want you to pick something other than a food something or other. So what would a guilty pleasure be that's not necessarily food related that you enjoy doing though? And a guilty pleasure doesn't have to make you feel guilty. I guess that's what it's called, but whatever. Answer however you like. Jackie,
I'll jump in really quick. Yeah, I have a couple matching games on my phone that literally will help me hyper focus so I can take a break from all the other stresses in the world. So if I start playing it more than just 2 or 3 times, it's kind of a stressful day. So I only usually do it after work hours, and it is something that it's like, oh, okay, I just wasted 45 minutes. That was supposed to take me like 3 minutes to play 2 games. And what just happened here? So totally guilty, because then my dishes don't get done or something else. So that's why I would definitely use the word guilty. But it does help my brain kind of take a break from all the other stuff.
Yeah. Those things kind of can be time suckers, but they're fun sometimes. I get it. I agree. Dr. Mel, guilty pleasure outside of food.
I am a crime junkie, and so I'm all things TV crime, podcast crime, all the things. So that's really my guilty pleasure. That's how I decompress on my way home from school, and I'll listen to my first thing Monday morning, actually called Crime Junkie podcast, and yeah, that's my thing.
I love that. That's awesome. It's a good escape. Al, how about you?
I would say horror movies. Sometimes you stuck to watching one. You can like to continue on to different type of different sometimes there's poltergeist, sometimes there's like a horror plus killer movie, on all those. It's all mixed together, So everything, everything that comes into, it does not affect my sleep, So even though I sleep well, so it won't affect my dreams as well, So, but once I will start watching a horror movie, I can still continue on, to the next one and the next one.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that. Well, one of my guilty pleasure. Oh, Damien, you go first, and then I'll go.
I can watch Suits and over again, and I also The Walking Dead. I'm sorry. I think I
heard
watched
Suits is really
every
good.
episode of The Walking Dead, every series.
Oh, I love that. That's cool. I don't love The Walking Dead. That's just not my vibe. But the Suits, I've heard to watch that, and I have yet to do that. I need to add that to my list. I love that, watching Survivor reruns. Oh my gosh, I've got a couple of guilty pleasures that I enjoy outside. Like, when we travel, I love to go in and listen to just get on YouTube and listen to Brene Brown, and I'll just kind of do a deep dive in all of her things, or Mel Robbins and do a deep dive into YouTube and all of those things, or some really positive thinking, just I don't know, just some kind of YouTube videos like that. And I will just put in my earbuds and just kind of escape and go away to another place. So I absolutely love that. I also love watching Shark Tank. That's one of my favorite things. Usually when I get done with this show, I have about an hour before I go to bed, and I just veg out and I just watch Shark Tank, because I just love to see what people create and, if they get a deal or not. So yeah, those are some fun guilty pleasure type things to just escape from life and take some time for ourselves. I love that you guys all have something like that to go in and do.
So if you could be any place in the world, I know, and work from, where would you work from?
I would say Tenerife, Canary Islands, because it's all surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea. It's an island, it's actually part of Spain, but it's facing Morocco, the northern part of Africa. And a lot of people would love to go during the winter time. They'll just go down there because it's a very warm weather down there. And that place, the beaches there is like semi-new. People can just take off and they can just play ping pong on the beach and all that, on facing the ocean and all that. So it's a lot of people go there. So tourists are, I think, more than 2/3 of the population of the local people there. So Canary Islands is one of the good places. Yeah, I would say.
Thank you for that. Dr. Mel, how about you?
I would probably say Paris or Italy or somewhere like that. My boyfriend Tony and I would like to go to Paris sometime soon. And I was teasing him because, Tony and Ziva off of NCIS, their show is actually in Paris. And I'm like, maybe we'll see them when we go there. So,
That's awesome.
I like that. How about you, Jackie?
So up until before my son had his accident, I would say anywhere either warm or if I could buy a small motor home, I'd love to work out of that and just be in a different city anytime I wanted to be. But now after he had his accident, I kind of feel like I need to be closer to home for a while until mama's nerves calm down a bit. So I am really happy working right here in my own town. I'm only about 10 or 11 minutes away from Lake Michigan. So it works out pretty good until another month or two from now when it gets freezing cold, and then I will change my mind again.
I love that. I love that. I'm with you. I'm a beach girl. I'll go to the Canary Islands with Al. That'd be great. We'll work from there. I've never been there, so that sounds like a great place to go. But someplace warm, tropical, beautiful. That's definitely a definite good vibe for me. Absolutely. And I've changed every night in case anybody wants to know, because I'm a travel junkie. So I will go wherever. So. Go ahead, Damien.
I like that. I haven't changed. I've been consistent. I said New York, but I'm going to throw you for a loop. We was having this conversation today at work. I'm Probably Fiji.
Okay, I think you should do it.
Yes, I think I should do it as well. And Dr. Mel, I'm definitely with you. France, Paris, great place.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, you guys, I want you to give you a minute and think about one word that you would use that best describes your approach to work-life balance. What's that one word? And I know some of you have been in the audience. You can change your word. It can be a little bit different or the same thing. And those of you in the audience, what is your one word that best describes your approach to work-life balance? Jackie, are you ready? You look
I am
ready.
so ready. I was going to type it in last night and I'm like, wait a minute, they're probably going to ask me that tomorrow. So I'll hold on that answer. This would not have been my answer a couple years ago, but my focus on work-life balance, my word would be happiness. Because if you're not happy in work, you're not happy at home, you are going to be so totally off balance that it's going to be very hard to get back on. So that's where I try to keep that. And that's some of the stuff I'll be talking about in my actual session, even though everybody thinks it's just about money.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that. Dr. Mel?
I think my word would be realignment, because we're in alignment sometimes, but then we get out of alignment. So you have to get back into alignment. Right now, my work-life balance is probably not aligned where it needs to be. So I need to get back and in alignment. So I need to realign. I'm just, with the learning the new job and everything coming at me so fast, I'm exhausted at night and I haven't been doing my exercise like I need to had been over the summer. And every night I have an excuse of why, because I'm just tired. And so I just need to get back in realignment.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
So the summit is happening right at the perfect time to help me out with my work-life balance.
Perfect. We got presenters to help with that.
I know.
Al, how about you? What's your
I would
one
say
word?
KPI, KPI for key performance index. So every day we're achieving something, like getting the results we want. Sometimes we really achieve, and you're achieving through our work. We really achieve, and we're satisfied with that. Then we have to go on to our personal life. We also have to satisfy ourselves. Pay ourselves. When we achieve our rewards by getting what we want, we also need to go for holidays. Pay ourselves. Buy the luxury goods that you desire, and also whatever we wanted. In our life. So you have to pay ourselves first as well. So the KPIs are important. Once you achieve the results, then you just go to the personal life. You satisfy your family, your spouse, your children, your siblings. All those. So just a mixture of both, other than just focus on work, all the time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. KPIs. No one has said that yet. I love that. Damien, what's your one word tonight?
Life. Work is a piece of my life. My home is a piece of my life. My family is a piece of my life. And all it is components of my life. And the only person who has real control over how you spend your life and balance your life is you. So it's life and it's progress in life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to stick with Inspire that I had last night. There are so many people at this event that inspire me still to this day. I mean, I'm still growing and learning about how to balance my work and my life. And when I listen to other people's stories or their examples, I'm inspired by them, and I'm always learning something new when I'm listening to somebody talk about something, and I'm like, oh, and it could seem like to them like the smallest little thing. And then I'm like, ooh, that little fire in me, ooh, I'm ignited here all of a sudden that now I want to go down this road, and I think I might want to try something like that. So I think Inspire is something that really helps me. And that's, remember when I talked about putting my guilty pleasure in, that's when I listen to things that are inspiring to me. And then I get really kind of jazzed up about it, and I'm excited about it. So I love all that positivity.
So speaking of inspiring, like you talked about being inspired, like sometimes we don't get motivated by things. Sometimes we are easily motivated. Like some people have what they call high motor, low motor, medium motor. So what are some of the things that actually inspire you to actually commit to work-life balance and actually prioritize it? So what inspires you? And I'm gonna go with Al first this time. So what inspires you to do work-life balance? Because you're up early, you have 1 hour, you did a summit already, now you're part of this. Like what inspires you to get that work-life balance going?
You know, because every day when we wake up, we always look forward to certain things. So we always look forward to the pop-up messages, that, oh, there's a job for you now. So that's sometimes you're always looking forward to certain things. We're always anticipating, something that will happen to us. So it's always good that things are always growing. Because if things are not coming in, then you're just stale. You're at the same position all the time. So the chart will be just on a flat scale. But when we are growing, we are just exponentially going up each day. So every day we wake up with a good anticipation of a great morning and how we can proceed and propel forward in the morning. And looking forward for good things happening each time. So my brain is always functioning, very active, running. So all this while.
I appreciate you talking about growth and like moving forward and how your brain is running. Sometimes we don't take the time to actually like move forward. You get stuck a lot of times, and I like that you said that. So I appreciate you saying that. Jackie, how about you?
So for me, I like not just focusing on it for myself and being part of this, but it's really because I have worked a nonprofit pretty much my entire career, like since I was even in college, like for my undergrad. And I really want to inspire people to not do the kind of work-life unbalance that I did for decades and decades before I started working a little bit more on that. Because when you're a nonprofit, a lot of those positions do not give you overtime. So when you're going into the office on Saturday and Sunday and working through dinner and not getting home to your kids, that is not a balanced approach. And so I try to really make sure that other people don't do some of the things that I did and wait as long as I did to realize that we need to do more.
I like that. Definitely. If you work the nonprofit, you know exactly what Jackie is saying. She's saying it really clearly. It's a lot of, and the reward is a lot. It's a great reward because you do spend time supporting people in a nonprofit space, but you do have to take time for yourself as well and work and figure out that unbalance to become balanced. And Jason talked about, is work-life balance real? And your balance looks different for everyone else, and you have to figure out what works for you. So, yeah, it's a balancing act, but your balance might look different from someone else's. So don't measure yourself against anybody else. Dr. Mel, how about you?
I think what inspires me is because when I'm out of balance, I'm not productive. I'm not a friendly person. And then relationships start to suffer. And sometimes when my work-life balance is out of whack or it's unbalanced, then I tend to kind of become a seclusive person. And I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. And I just want to chill on my couch and be very non-productive in every way. And that's not a good way to live either. So making sure that it's back in balance is super important because like I was saying, right now, this is my season of hustle and I'm exhausted all of the time. And I've taken on too much stuff and my commitments were created before I got my job. And now I'm feeling pulled in so many different directions, which is not cool because then I'm not as effective as I would like to be.
That makes sense. Like you can't do everything. So we appreciate you being here and making time for us as well. So
well, I am happy to be here.
Thank you. And you've been here for all the summits, right?
think so. I think I've only missed one of the summits. One of the virtual. I don't even know which one I missed. I missed one out of all of them. So, but yeah.
So definitely happy to have you. How about you, Dr. Farron?
Oh my gosh. My physical, what inspires me to work on my work-life balance is Summit is because when my physical body is under stress, that is telling me that I am out of balance. And I literally feel it in my joints and in my feet and in my hands and my shoulders. And I don't feel well. I can't concentrate. I'm irritable. I can tell all of those things start happening to me. And it took me a while. It was probably 10 years ago when I really first identified that this was really why I was feeling this way. I'd probably been feeling like this for probably 10 years. And then 10 years ago, I was like, why do I all of a sudden I didn't know why I was feeling like that. And then I spent some time reflecting and identifying. And so now, fast forward, kind of like, everyone has said, not wanting to go back to that spot, right? Not knowing that was a really horrible place to be in. So what can I do to move forward to help practice these things? And so, I've set a lot of boundaries in my life, and I'm going to be talking about that at the summit on Saturday. So come and join me for balance and boundaries. But that is my topic, because it is not good when your body is hurting because you have worked yourself so hard that, you are feeling the stress physically in your body. And that's not good.
It's good that you actually know the warning signs of like what's going on, so what kind of inspires me is that when I was going through it, they talk about burnout, like I didn't know the warning signs. I didn't understand them. Then, exhaustion is like I just was exhausted. I talked about this the other day. People go on vacation to have fun, relax, unwind, and enjoy stuff, and coming back exhausted, it isn't fun at all. So, and I'll give you a tip. Those people who are out there who are tuning in, when you plan a vacation, and you'll get more information. You come to the summit on October 3rd and 4th. When you plan a vacation and you take 4 days, take 5. Take your 4th for the vacation and take the 5th day to reacclimate yourself to your normal routine. A lot of times what people do is I've seen people do vacation and going straight to work off the vacation, and then they're exhausted. And then it takes like a couple of weeks to rejuvenate yourself. Or you'll go 4 or 5 days and then you'll come back and then you'll like, all right, I gotta go to work. I gotta get it ready. Just take a vacation and take an extra day if you can to get yourself ready back to your normal routine.
I love that. That's, all of these pieces are great ways to identify. And so if you have not identified in your life, are you in balance? Is your work in your life feeling balanced? Are you feeling a little out of whack? And we all have these moments and times. It's never a perfect balance. Dr. Mills started a new, really incredible job. And, she is feeling that at this moment, but she will get back in. She knows the skills. She's got the tools in her toolbox. Sometimes we know this is a window in time, especially in our profession. We know there is a window of time when life is extra busy and then things slow down a little bit. And so being able to recognize those things and knowing those things is so important. And if you don't know that, come to the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit, because we have people that are going to help give you some tips and some ideas, and you're going to be able to dig into that. And so with that being said, I want to kind of skip down to, we touched a little bit about this, but if you could give your younger self one piece of advice about balance, what would it be? If you could give your younger self, and this could be your 20-year-old self, your 30-year-old self, your 17-year-old self, whatever age, what advice would you give about balance in your life? Anyone who wants to go.
I'll start if you want.
Sure.
I think I would make sure to remind myself that I deserve the grace that I give to other people instead of that hustle culture and always thinking that I've got to work a little harder to make other people happy, and make sure I'm taking care of myself first.
Yes.
And I can help other people more.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Al, do you want to go? What advice would
Yeah,
you give
same thing.
yourself?
I would say I should not be a workaholic, So sometimes I can work till the night and all that, and until the wee hours of the morning and all that. And after that, we will just burn out. The next day, I wake up a bit grumpy, and sometimes people just talk to me, I just ignore them and all that. So sometimes that will be when during that time, when I was working for a company and all that. And sometimes I just prefer to be alone and all that. But in company, sometimes you need the employees to cheer you up and all that, to give you the edge, above others. But sometimes you just want to be alone when you don't have the sufficient sleep that you want and all that, the number of hours. So I would say that if I can get more sleep, then I'll be having a better, more people around me and all that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So just that ounce, that extra sleep kind of gives a little ripple effect, right, of everything else around you. It helps impact your social life at work. You're not so grumpy around them. You want to be more around people if you're a little more balanced with your sleep and not staying up too late to work. I think that's a really great tip. And I don't think I've heard anybody really give that one to their younger self. So I love that. How about you, Dr. Mel? What piece of advice could you give your younger self about balance?
I would say that mine would be stay in the routine of working out and being active, because right now, like I said, I don't have time to go for a walk, or I'm exhausted of an evening. And if I had set myself up more in the past to stay in that routine, I think I would still be in that routine a little bit more now and not have the aches and pains that I have, which also exacerbates the problem of wanting to work out. But then it also goes back to that sleep. When you are staying active, even though you're exhausted coming home at night, I go to bed and I can't sleep, even though I'm completely wiped out. But I think staying active and getting that workout in and stuff, my body would be in a much better place to sleep comfortably.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Maybe some just little stretches, Dr. Mel, maybe a little deep breathing and some stretches.
Right. I know. I have a stand-up desk at work, so I do a few little squats here and there.
I know, but I just know personally myself, when I'm really overworked and I can't fit that in, sometimes just taking like a 10-minute stretch just kind of rejuvenates me, in my mindset. So I'm here to help my friend here. Just want to give you a virtual hug right now, because I know you're doing amazing things and I know it's been a lot. Damien, what are you going to tell that younger Damien?
I would say, work is about, like, back when I was younger, it was all about running. Your motor. Eventually you have to slow down and stop. It's inevitable. It will happen. You will have to stop. So pace yourself. So I would tell myself to pace myself.
Yes. Yes. I agree. And I was talking about this morning on a clubhouse room that I was hosting. And I was talking about the power of the word no. And I would tell my younger self to say no to things earlier than when I started saying no to things. And simply this is the example I gave this morning. Whenever I was sick as a mom, I kept going through and going through and going through. I went to work. I took care of the kids. I took them everywhere they needed to be. No one really knew I was sick, but I was miserable. I might have been feverish, yucky, coughing, whatever. Every life just went on. If my husband got sick, he went to bed. His illness would be about 4 or 5 days. I wasn't upset that he went to bed. But why didn't I put myself to bed and say, it's time for you to rest? And I remember the first time I did that, my kids were like, you're sick? What? And I finally started saying, no, I'm going to stay home and take care of me today. Or no, I'm not going to run one more errand today. That can wait. Or no, I'm not going to make sure I get every ounce of laundry done today. That can wait. And once I started learning that I could tell myself no, my gosh, the world became a much more balanced place. It was okay. My husband didn't care if the laundry wasn't done. The children didn't care if they had a frozen pizza again tonight. I don't know. They survived it. So saying no to some things isn't a bad thing. And no doesn't always mean never. It might just mean not yet, or not today. And giving ourselves that grace of saying, we're not going to do that. And that's really hard for me, that type A personality that wants to hustle and get every single thing done and in the timeline and deadline that I wanted it to be done. And sometimes it just doesn't get done. So that's what I would tell myself. Relax a little bit. I try to model that a little bit more for my daughters and give them a little bit more out of, hey, if you're not feeling up to it, don't come. Go rest. Take care of you.
So when you were just saying that, it made me think about something. Especially going on the question. We're talking about work-life balance. Does anybody have a story or a situation where they had a mentor, an individual who actually poured into them and said, you know what, I want to support you in it, and you finally realize like I have to kind of do something different externally or for work-life balance. Like I had like a mentor who came to me and said to me, and she was like, you know what, and I'll never forget it. When I went to DC, she was like, I don't want you to do what you did in New York. I don't want you to burn out. I don't know. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, this is my motive. She was like, no. Big picture, like you're down here, you don't have all your family support around you. You have to kind of pace yourself. And I think that was so important because she didn't want me to get lost in myself, but also wanted to make time. And she always would check in with me. And the part about her, she actually lived in the Midwest, and she's a good friend of mine to this day. And she was a mentor to me, and she would come out and come to DC, Maryland to check on the site. But she would always make sure that I was taking that time for myself because she saw me getting burnt out, and I couldn't recognize the signs when I was at home. So that's the kind of thing that kind of made me come to mind when you were talking about your kids.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody have a person that kind of helped guide them and shape them with this? Oh, it sounds like you guys are going to be the ones then. Because I'm sitting here racking my brain thinking, I'm not really sure who did that for me. I think it was all of you. I think it was all of these people that I have met and encountered and have shared their experiences that helped ignite this in myself, and some great therapy. I mean, let's get serious. A great therapist can really help guide you in a positive way of making some great changes in your life.
How about you, Al?
Yeah, I got one of my good friends that I met during my studies in Australia. After when I graduated and came back to Malaysia, I mean, he still guides me along, So basically, he'll just during my studies, especially I'm under extreme pressure during my tertiary studies. So basically, he always guide me like sit down and just meditate and listen to spiritual songs and all that, very calm, soothing songs and all that. So at least he calms me down. I mean, all the nerves, especially when going to the exams in a couple of days or something like that. So rather than just keep on studying, burning the midnight oil and all that. So basically, you just tune me down. That means calming my nerves and make sure that my mind is more in tune, for the exams and all that stuff. So same thing. After that, I came back. Sometimes I think, yeah, he is still in Australia because he's working there. Then after that, he came back to Singapore, but we still communicate with each other. Even during work time, he'll just tell me, he'll just guide me what to do and all that, not to worry about certain things or worry too much, sometimes when I'm getting overwhelmed, with certain work and all that. So at least we still communicate here and there, on the phone and all those. Yeah. But he's no longer in this world now, He's really gone to the other side. So anyway, I just appreciate his help, all this while, guiding me through from university time to my work time. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That's pretty awesome that he had you calm down by listening to different music, things like that. Yeah. How about you, Dr. Mel?
I don't know that I have just one person. I think it's always been my church women and just other strong women in leadership that I've been around in the last few years just really helped me to understand that you can't just go, and you have to, chill a little bit. And I think people saying, create systems and procedures and that kind of stuff. And that's not just at work, that's also at home. And I liked how you said, it's okay to serve frozen pizza another night. But one thing I did when my kids were little and we were in sports all the time is I would get hamburger and I would just brown up tons and tons of hamburger and put it in the freezer. And then you could pull it out for chili. You could pull it out for all kinds of different things, spaghetti and tacos. And then it was way quicker than trying to do all of the things every night when you were running all the different directions. So
I love that tip. That's a great tip. Jackie, anybody come to mind for you? What'd you say?
And kids love frozen pizza.
Yeah.
No real support there.
School of hard knocks, huh?
Yes.
Learning it as you go. And I think a lot of us, right? It's not like we come pre-programmed with this perfection in our lives. And, we all have to learn from somebody else or from different examples or from what we don't want. And as I was thinking a little bit more, I remember in my chiropractor giving me some guided meditations on CVs. CVs, that's how long ago. And I was like, what is this? What do you mean? And so I think I had a lot of people probably influence me in my life and, lead me down a path to some greater self-awareness. And I think that's really where it starts is some self-awareness for a lot of us so that we're able to help others.
I think that also self-awareness just comes as you get older and more mature in the way you do things. And I think we just learn along the way, or most people do, that you just can't keep going forever. And one of these days you're going to have to slow down whether you want to or not. So I think you just get more wise as you get a little older.
Yeah, you're right. Will you throw that comment up by Victor again? This is kind of perfect, parlaying right into what we're discussing. Does work-life balance change through varying points in your career? What do you all think? Yeah,
without
definitely.
a doubt. Yeah. It depends on if you're climbing that ladder and you feel like you got to put out more volume and do more things. It depends if you're the supervisor or manager and you have to take care of all the fires so it doesn't stress your staff out. The things you learn about yourself, like, Dr. Mel was talking about too, it's like when you become more self-aware that you're getting older, things hurt a little bit more. Your time is more precious. Time goes so much faster. It changes without a doubt. But I don't think when some of us are younger, we really label it as work-life balance, or we think that there's sometimes even a connection. Sometimes we're just like, oh man, I've worked a lot or I'm tired a lot, but we still try to push. And for some of us that have worked in female-dominated professions, there's a lot of pressure to prove yourself and to outdo some things for very low pay sometimes. And it's really weird how you you don't see it while you're doing it. You think you just got to chase. And it's interesting when you can get a little older and step away from some of those roles and realize that you're not always compensated for that hustle either, which is really kind of something that hits you later in life or in different careers when you are treated more appropriate financially and timing, and they encourage you to not be there so late at night or to come in on the weekends like other colleagues sometimes do.
And I think a little bit of it depends on what your career field is as well. I know as a classroom teacher, I had periods of time in my career, like if I changed to a different grade level, or when I very first started in education and was in the classroom, I was hustling really hard then. But then it got much easier after I'd been in the classroom for a few years, and I didn't feel that hustle and that need to push as much because things were leveled out. I knew how to do my job a little bit better. But now I'm back into a job that I don't know, and I'm learning that. So now I have to hustle and push a little bit more in this part of my career.
I love that. Very funny, Jason. Very funny. Yes. Heat it up. It makes it easier to eat. Exactly. Al, did you want to respond to Victor's statement or question? Does work-life balance?
Because when we are building up our career, we are just single, So once we meet the love of our life, go on dating, sometimes your work also affected certain parts of the life. So it's like a zigzag, when you're going up the curve. Then when you get married and you get attached, then you're thinking of family life more. And from family life, then your work also sometimes you have to need to balance out between the work life and the love life. And by the time you're having children again, so it's another phase of life, that you keep on changing when as time goes by. So what we can do in our lives, to balance out, whether it's a good timing, to continue to hustle and hustle. By the time you think that you're too old to hustle, then you lost all the energy in life. So it's better that sometimes you focus back on the family matters and all that. So but some people don't take leave, like in Asia, a lot of people, they don't take leave, They want to accumulate the leaves, until the many years, until one day the employer will say that, oh, sorry, you're no longer needed in the company. So you lose all the leave and all that. They just backdated all this. So
we talked about that last night. I think it was last night or maybe the night before. We talked about people not taking their PTO, right? Trying to save it, or that, it could be gone one day. And so taking that PTO is so important. So yeah, I agree. And I think you're right. When the lives change and evolve, in our own lives, it's we have to take a look at it because certain things are going to take precedence over others, and Jackie, you just had a situation with your son. I mean, that changed your world and put stress in another area of life. And so you're having to look at what are you going to kind of have to leave to the wayside while you're handling this situation,
I think also we have to, I'm sorry, Jackie, go ahead.
Go right ahead.
I think that we also have to be cognizant of those in our circle or our sphere of influence, because I know right now the principal under me, he is just push, and he's scheduling all these things, and he's wanting to build the culture in his building and back in the district, and he is not being self-aware of his limitations. And so I am telling him, we can't do this. I can't do this. I don't want to do this. So let's figure out a way where we can really balance the events so they're not just coming constantly. And we had one week where we had 4 huge things, and I was exhausted by the end of the week just because of that. And I see him not going home until 8:30 at night sometimes. And as his supervisor, I can't let him do that, because I'm going to end up with a principal who's either burned out and quits, or he's going to be sick and can't come in. And so it's my responsibility to make sure he is balancing his work and life, and his family is going to suffer if he doesn't.
Yeah.
I was just going to follow up with Leslie about the in the comment that Victor made about uncontrolled events. When you do have a family crisis, when you do have, for you, Dr. Mel, if one of your principals or administrative team end up having a life event that you're not expecting, it automatically rolls up and it rolls down. And so if you are not comfortable in your job at all anyways, or if you don't like it, or you're already feeling overloaded and stressed, and then you have to take on other people's work. It might not even be what's impacting you at home. It might be because other people had impacted in their home, and then now you have to help take on. It's almost like we need to prep ourselves for that unexpected time off, the unexpected events that can come up. And if we're not keeping ourselves healthy and mentally well, it's going to be much harder to bounce that off. I mean, I don't forget anything. I mean, rarely do I forget anything. And I know as I get older, that's just going to keep happening and happening. But when my son was in the hospital, it's like, I forgot some of the most simple things. I texted Damien 2 things that was meant for my son's dad. Nothing he needed to ever read in a text. And I'm like, oh my God, I never text the wrong person the wrong stuff. I'm so sorry. And thankfully it was him, and he's so gracious, don't worry, whatever. And it's like my mind played tricks on me because I'm not used to that. I'm used to following my schedule, and crisis happen at work. Crisis usually doesn't happen outside my day job. And so trying to adapt for that is something that now I know. And now my staff, I'm trying to encourage them as well. You've got to prep for what ifs, because I don't want you stressed out. I don't want you speaking the ick into the world. But if something was to happen, are you able to step in for a coworker? Is your coworker able to step in for you? Because otherwise it's all going to come back to me, and I can only take so much more on my plate. So it's something that, depending on what your responsibility is with your team or with your colleagues, it's important to be prepped in a certain capacity, because then you don't feel that extra, oh my gosh, now I got to learn something new on top of taking this all on. So it's a whole nother topic that we should have been thinking about, because wow, prepping, now I know what I'm going to speak about maybe next year or something.
Yeah. Write it down so you don't forget. Exactly. I mean, it's so true. It's so true. Yeah. And being prepared and ready. I don't know that we can always be ready for what happens in life, but we can try to and figure out how we can do that, and find out who we can lean on, where we can, add additional support to help us. And what can we ask for? Oh my gosh, work-life balance. Who can we ask to give us a hand? That's okay. We can ask for things. Gosh, we are here at 58 minutes, Damien. We have flown through this hour again. We are live 2 more nights for Meet the Presenter week. So we've got tomorrow night and Thursday night still to come with great people. I hope that you can join us for the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit. You can check it out at creativelivingideas.com. Tickets are still available. And we're just going to dig into more great things to help you find great strategies, methods, thoughts about work-life balance.
Yes. October 3rd and 4th at the summit. Last question. What do you expect people to take away from your particular presentation or workshop? How about Dr. Mel?
I have several objectives, 3 main objectives, but one that I'm really thinking of is to align your passions with your real career growth. I can't talk tonight either. And then align and realign your work-life balance with all of that. So my presentation it's called Spark Your Success with Passion, Purpose, and Potential. So
excellent.
Love it. Thank you. How about you, Al?
Yeah, I'd like people to take away what's so important as a passion. If you study something and you do something else, I mean, you work something else that you don't like, then it's not fulfilling your passion. So if you're going back to the passion that you have lived all your life, from childhood days, then you're doing what's right for you. You know you're going to the right career path, rather than you're doing in a job and you're so mundane about it. Every day you go, it's like Groundhog Day. Go back and forth, doing the same work all over again and again, and so and it's good that you keep on your passion and let the fire burning within you and all the desires that you come within. Thank you.
Thank you, Al. How about you, Jackie?
So my big takeaway is for anybody that comes to one of my sessions on this specific topic is absolutely to make sure that you are budgeting for your happiness before you think about all the other areas. So we're going to be talking about happiness a lot. When you hear the word budgeting, you probably don't automatically think about happiness. You're thinking about, oh man, how do we make it all work? So that's one thing that I want everybody to take away is that how important that happiness level is in all the budgets that we're going to create together.
Thank you for that. And Dr. Farron, last but not least.
Oh my gosh. I hope that, the people that are coming, remember, I'm the last presentation of the day of the event. And, I hope people are going to take away some really great minds called boundaries and balance. So find some great boundaries as we have a great discussion with one another and find some ways to create some balance in their life. How about you, Damien?
Well, for me, it's definitely going to be everybody who's a part of the summit. That's what I think it's more so about. It's over 22 presentations, 2 different workshops at each time, and you get to see the replay weeks after. So it's a great experience and opportunity, and I want you to network with the individuals who are on there and build that relationship beyond there. So you can create that work-life balance.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, gosh, thank you all for joining us tonight. We are very grateful that you came, Jackie, Dr. Mel, Al. Thank you. Al needs to get some sleep, take a nap. But I, wish you all just a great rest of your week, as well as looking forward to listening to all of you at the presentations October 3rd and 4th. So thank you so much for joining us tonight.
And we'll see you tomorrow again. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.